This is K.M. Weiland, and you're listening to the 91st episode of the Wordplay Podcast. This week has been a hodgepodge of editing, researching, and rewriting. I'm deep into edits of outlining your novel, Map Your Way to Success, utilizing both hard copies and Adobe Reader's handy Read Out Loud feature, which converts text to speech, of a sort. The computerized voice, which I've dubbed Howie, offers some pretty hilarious pronunciations. He seems to be unable to decide if he's English, Scottish, Russian, French, German, Indian, or Transylvanian. I also finished, please envision finished with quotes around it, the last of my research quibbles for my historical work in progress, The Deepest Breath, and even better, figured out how to fix a couple scenes that have been bugging me ever since I wrote them. I'm currently in the process of rewriting both those scenes. If all goes well, I should finish them within a few days and start on my first round of edits. The April issue of my e-letter hit inboxes last week. It included the usual roundup of inspirational quotes, creativity jump-starters, and helpful links, as well as the article Understanding Chapter Cliffhangers, and my response to a subscriber's question about whether or not you should post unpublished work on the internet. If you're not receiving the e-letter and would like to, you can sign up for my mailing list on my website at kmweiland, that's weiland.com/mailing-list.php. You can read back issues online at kmweiland.com/e-letter-issues.php. Why you should give your characters unlikable traits. The latest post in the video series on my blog explains how portraying your character's faults will make them more sympathetic, not less. You can watch the video on my blog at wordplay-kmweiland.blogspot.com. New videos are posted every Wednesday. Meanwhile, enjoy this week's podcast, 4 Ways to Avoid the Pitfalls of a Writer's Solitude. Writers either live in solitude or wish to. A great many of us, who are trying to juggle family, friends, and a day job, along with our writing, would often like nothing better than to slam the door against the rest of the world. Ah, solitude. Sometimes the word is a siren song of peace and productivity. But sometimes a writer's enforced solitude can go from alone to flat-out lonely. Often writers tend toward introvertedness, either by nature or necessity. Our devotion to our craft means our weekends and evenings are spent hunched over a keyboard, instead of jet skiing or watching NASCAR. In a How I Write interview with Susan Agee, the writer, March 2010, acclaimed short story author Carrie C. Holliday notes, "Writing is something you have to do on your own. You have to take it seriously and be willing to be lonely while you do it." But what about the moments when that feeling of aloneness becomes overwhelming? When you can't help feeling that the people in your life don't have a clue about what drives you as an author? When you start wondering if you're the only person in the world who struggles with this dual identity, normal person by day, super secret writer by night? Or what about the moments when you start wondering if your writing is causing you to miss out on something? When you start wondering if you're not so much living your life as haunting it? Take a sigh of relief, because you, in all your magnificent weirdness, are in very good company. Every author encounters feelings like this sooner or later. But you only have to be as alone as you want to be. As important as it is to claim large chunks of uninterrupted writing time, it's also important that we make time to actually live our lives. In a Facebook conversation a few weeks ago, Rhonda Ray Baker made the beautiful and undeniable statement that a writer has more to say in meaningful ways when they have lived a broad and deep life. Following are a few tips on balancing our solitude without letting it become loneliness. 1. Schedule your writing time. Make time to participate in a variety of life experiences, including investing time in important relationships. 2. Reach out to the writing community. Particularly in this digital age of Facebook, Twitter, and the blogosphere, other writers are only a mouse click away. Connect with them, commiserate with them, learn from them, and nurture them. 3. Seek out non-writing jobs and hobbies. If you begin to feel you have no life outside of writing, give a try to broadening your horizon. A career or hobby unrelated to writing may be just the ticket for helping you connect with others and glean from new experiences. 4. Connect with readers. If you're published, you're connecting with others simply by putting words on paper for them to read. Reach out to them through social media and other venues, libraries, bookstores, book expos, etc., and encourage them to interact with you. If you aren't yet published, you can kill two birds with one stone by jumping into the social media pool and getting to know your readers before the book deal. By the time you're ready to sign that $1 million contract, you'll have an established platform and hordes of encouraging fans. Balancing the advantages and disadvantages of solitude will be a lifelong challenge for most of us, but it's one that's definitely worth tackling. As Lori A. May wrote in Get Involved, Play an Active Part in the Writing Community, the writer, May 2010, writing may be a solitary endeavor, but a writer's life shouldn't be. Thank you for listening to the Wordplay Podcast. To read a transcript of this episode, visit me on the web at wordplay-kmwyland, that's weiland.blogspot.com, and be sure to listen again next week.